In previous class, we discussed about transportation in human beings. Today, we are going to discuss about transportation in plant and excretion. Now, we are going to discuss transportation in plants. In plants, transportation of materials like food, water, and minerals takes place through conducting tissues called xylem and phloem. Transport of water. Xylem is water conducting tissue. Xylem is made up of 4 kinds of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. It involves 3 interconnected processes. 1. Absorption of water and mineral. The water and minerals are absorbed by plants from the soil through the root hairs and root apex. Dear students, when roots absorbs water, it creates difference in concentration between soil solution and root hairs. Water molecules moves from higher water potential to lower water potential and then to xylem vessels and tracheids. Second process, upward movement of water and minerals. Upward movement of water and minerals is due to root pressure. Root pressure means root absorbs water and exerts a pressure which pushes like water upward. Upward movement of water minerals is also due to transpiration. The third process, transpiration. Loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant body is called transpiration. Loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant body is called transpiration. Then the transpiration takes place through the stomata. What are the significance of transpiration? Helps in affords movements of water in plants, and also it regulates the temperature of plants. Significance of transpiration, once again, it helps in affords movement of water in plants, and also it regulates the temperature of plants. We came to know that xylem transports the water. It takes place by the 3 interconnected processes. They are: 1. Absorption of water and minerals by roots, and upward movement of water, at last transpiration. Study transportation of food in plants. You know that plants prepare food through photosynthesis. This food has to transported to each parts of the plant.
Phloem is the food conducting tissue. Transport of soluble products of photosynthesis from the leaves to the other parts of the plant is called translocation.
Transportation in plants. All plants need water. Plant roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. Water absorption is mainly carried out by root hairs. These narrow-walled hairs greatly increase the area over which water absorption can take place. Xylem vessels are long, narrow, hollow tubes containing no living material. The xylem transports water and soluble mineral nutrients from the roots to other parts of a plant. About 95% of the water absorbed is lost through the stomata present in the leaves. This process is known as transpiration. The number of stomata is more on the lower surface of leaves. If transpiration happens throughout the day, then there will be a great loss of water. This is controlled by the stomatal opening and closing mechanism. During the daytime, water enters into the guard cells along with the potassium ions. This brings about a change in the shape of the guard cells and the stoma opens. During the night, the potassium ions and water molecules leave the guard cells. Thus, the turgidity decreases and the stoma closes. Stomata also act as main sites of gaseous exchange in plants. Leaves make use of water and the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Glucose formed during photosynthesis is transported to the other parts of the body through phloem cells. Phloem tissue consists of less specialized and nucleate parenchyma cells, sieve tube cells, and companion cells. Transport of food in phloem can be up or down the stem to reach all parts of the plant. Hence, the transportation in plants is the function of xylem and phloem cells.
Okay, children. Now let us study excretion. Excretion is the one of the important life process. What is excretion? Excretion is the process by which the waste products produced during the metabolic activities is removed from the body. Excretion is the process by which the waste products produced during metabolic activities is removed from the body. Now, let us see excretion in human beings. The excretory system of human beings consists of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder, and a urethra. Kidneys are located in the abdomen, one of the side of the backbone. Urine produced in the kidneys passes through the ureters into the urinary bladder, where it is stored until it is released through the urethra. Which is the most important functioning part of kidney? Yes, it is nephron. What is nephron? Nephron is structural and functional unit of kidney. Now let us see the function of nephron. Each nephron has a cup-like structure called Bowman capsule containing a bundle of capillaries called glomerulus. The Bowman's capsule leads into a tubular structure which joins into a collecting duct. The renal arteries brings the nitrogen waste like ammonia, urea, uric acid along the excess water, salts, etc. into the nephron. It filters nitrogen waste, water, salts which passes through the tubular structure into the collecting duct. Then the waste then passes through the ureters into the urinary bladder and is then sent out through the urethra as urine. The useful products like ammonia acids, glucose, salts, etc. are reabsorbed by the capillaries around the tubular structure and goes into the renal vein.
Nephron, structure and functions. Objective: to understand the structure of a nephron in detail. The excretory system in human beings consists of a pair of kidneys. A magnified view of the longitudinal section of kidney shows two prominent regions, a cortex and a medulla. As we zoom into the cortex region, it shows the presence of numerous nephrons. Each nephron has a Bowman's capsule, a proximal convoluted tubule, a loop of Henle, a distal convoluted tubule that leads to a collecting duct. Nephrons are convoluted in the cortex region and straighten out as loops in the medulla region. Each nephron has a Bowman's capsule, which is a cup-shaped structure that has a layer made of squamous epithelial cells. In the cavity of the Bowman's capsule, there is a bundle of capillaries known as the glomerulus. The blood vessel entering the Bowman's capsule is known as the efferent arteriole and is thicker than the blood vessel exiting the capsule, which is thinner and is known as the efferent arteriole. The Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus together form the Malpighian body. This capsule extends into the proximal convoluted tubule (PCT) on the inner side. This tubule is lined by a brush-bordered epithelium with numerous microvilli. This PCT leads into the loop of Henle, which lies in the medulla region. It is U-shaped and has a descending limb and an ascending limb. This further leads into the distal convoluted tubule, which is again seen in the cortex region, and it finally joins the collecting duct. As blood flows through the glomerulus, water, salts, and waste diffuse into the Bowman's capsule. This liquid then passes into the PCT and the loop of Henle, where water and important salts are absorbed back into the blood vessel. Only the waste material like urea and some water molecules proceed into the DCT, where more water may get absorbed into the interstitial fluid. This liquid formed is the urine, which is released into the collecting duct. This finally trickles through the kidney into the ureter, which helps the passage of urine into the urinary bladder. After a while, the urine can be excreted from the bladder.
Okay, let us see the simple excretion system in plants. In plants, excess of water is removed through the stomata. This process is called transpiration. And also in plants, the gaseous waste products produced during respiration, such as carbon dioxide and photosynthesis, such as oxygens, are removed through the stomata. Some waste products are stored in the leaves and removed when the leaves dry and fall off. And also some waste products are stored in vacuoles. Some waste products like gums, resins are stored in the old xylem cells. Some waste products are removed through the roots. Okay children, I hope you learned something in this session. Let us take homework. 1. Define transpiration. Define transpiration. 2. What are the methods used by plants to get rid of waste products? What are the methods used by plants to get rid of waste products? 3rd, draw a neat labeled diagram of nephron. Draw a neat labeled diagram of nephron. Okay, thank you children.